Kuroji vibe. Not really, it was great, but I loved it because if she hadn't shared anything with me, I would have just went with anything. But I'm like, oh wow, I really gotta think of a place that feels like Kuroji. And I'm like, but this is home. This is where he lived. And what better vibe is his home? So thank you so much. And plus, she's done a lot of stuff over the years, not just for tonight, but we go way, 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 way back. And oh my gosh! Yeah. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. And you know, because it was like I was sitting there. It's a lot to pull together at the last second because I wasn't doing anything traditional. But I knew that I said, Nikki, reach out and see who wants to do remarks. And she's like, I got you. So thank you so much for your beautiful words about the Kuroji Patrick.
But you know what? Her husband passed. So I think that was the last.
Magneto was intimidating to people because of his power, but he was only an enemy to those who messed with his people. That was Kuroji. Yeah. I had to laugh, Princess, when you said, oh, all the cousins come up here, because everybody was Kuroji's cousin. What you mean? Everybody, that's what he called me, Big Cuzzo. And this dude looked out for me in ways that I don't have time to get into right now. But I will say, he's a superhero, and the best way to honor him is to find your superpower and share it with the world. You know, Rogue is on this shirt somewhere. She could touch people, take their power and make it greater. Kuroji could do that. You know, Gambit is on this shirt somewhere. He could touch things, charge them up with energy, plus he was charming and all the ladies loved him. That was Kuroji. You know, I could go on, but find your X-Men mutant superpower and find the Kuroji, the Orange Man, the Vincent Patrick, the King Cypher in you. That's it. Thank you.
Let me tell y'all, this is a feat for artists to be on time, okay? I just want y'all to know. Coming up to represent for Bar None in the movement, DJ One Love and Munch. Yeah. DJ One Love and Munch.
What's up, everybody?
Hey.
First of all dudes from Jersey, put your hands up. Because if you know Kuroji, Ashbury Park, he let it be known. He represented. I'm DJ One Love, this is Munch. I first met Kuroji, ironically, at Spit Day with Droopy.
What's ironic about that?
Yeah, because you just got up here, that's fine. But, and from immediate just conversation, I was sitting there drawing while the poetry's going on, people performing. And the rest is history, because Kuroji came up to me and he was like, yo, that's what's up. And then he was telling me about some people that was looking for artists, et cetera, doing the networking thing that he does and so forth. I need Claudio to come up here, please. Please, quickly. Because we all formed basically a coalition of brothers in particular. And we looked out for one another. We were artists, we were poets, we were entertainers, but more importantly, we were strong black men that had been through thick and thin and persevered through all that. Lee, get up here, please, real quick. All right. I'm saying this because a lot of us, we knew each other in a way that y'all family, we were that extended family to that. I feel like I know all of y'all because I was so close with Kuroji. And me and Kuroji had a special bond because people used to think we were actual blood brothers because we did art together, we performed together, we did events together, and we were bouncers together. And here's the saying, you don't know somebody until you fight with them. And I got so many stories of Kuroji knocking people out, me and Kuroji taking people out of clubs, but because of the right reason, not promoting violence, because we were stopping violence. So anyway, I want to thank you all for being here, and I want you to understand, even my daughter and Kuroji's daughter were good friends and everything. We were all about the babies. And then later on, Kuroji was what? all about the ladies. So, much love, one love, Munch. You want to say something real quick? What's up, y'all? My name is Munch. For those that don't know, Kuroji was a regular at our open mic. 12 years we ran this probably one of the longest running open mics in DC, live band. But it was
like that, man.
It was really established to create platforms for artists and community. And Kuroji was one of only four in our 12-year history that hosted that event. You know what I'm saying? One of them's actually on the line. She can't. Raquel Rob Brown. She's not doing too well, but she's here in digital form in spirit. But I say all that to say that Kuroji was an extension of exactly what we were trying to do, which was build on community, have community, create that platform, and he represented what we were doing tremendously. I didn't know Kuroji in his MC days. I knew Kuroji after when he was doing poetry. Like as many have said, he was King Cypher to us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't. The Kuroji thing kind of came after this, but the King Cypher was what we knew. So he was doing the spoken word thing, and then he was doing his photography really heavy. And that brother just kind of really embodied what it is to be an artist. And he was always extremely giving and helpful with his talent and time. Like it wasn't about the money for him as it was the case with most of us out here. So he was really family in a very, very spiritual sense. And I just want to thank all you guys for being here, for lending him to us, so that he could be a blessing to all of us on U Street. And I'll just, just to speak for everybody who knew him on U Street, who couldn't be here, he was definitely a blessing for many, many people in that space. God bless.
Peace to the God.
All right. Okay, before we bring beautiful wife up, I'm subbing in for my homegirl, my bestie, Kaniki J, who was supposed to actually take the mic, and Kuroji and her shared a special bond, so much that her mama shared a special bond with Kuroji. But before I bring Shania up, I just want to, as we would do in the movement, we're going to do call and response. I'm going to say something, y'all say something back as we chant Shania to the microphone. Okay, cool. So when I say pump your fist like this, because this was the first piece that I did at Barnum when Kuroji was King Cypher. We gonna come in like this. So I'm gonna say pump your fist like this, and you're gonna say like this. Pump your fist like this.
Like this.
Pump your fist like this.
Like this.
Pump your fist like this.
Like this.
Because the evolution just don't quit. I said pump your fist like this.
Like this.
I said pump your fist like this.
Like this.
I said pump your fist like this.
Like this.
Because the evolution just don't quit. Kuroji, your spirit is in the building. You loved all of us. We're going to bring up your lovely wife to close this out.
First of all, thank you, everybody. I will get back on the mic and really thank so many people who made today special, but this is just for remarks about, so I know Kuroji and Sue. I'm telling his family, I don't know Vincent. I don't know that guy. I'm being honest, I don't know Vincent. I've never met Vincent. I met him as Kuroji and Sue. I married Kuroji and Sue. My kids call him Baba Kuroji. So that is who we know. And I want to say that it's so funny. Before he started to decline, we did talk about his obituary. And he was so funny. He's like, I want my obituary to be about me. So if you're not in the obituary, I'm like, he helped with his own obituary. So if you don't like it, I am doing everything that my husband asked me to do. He didn't want his body sitting in a casket. Y'all like, oh no, there was no wake, no viewing. Oh well, because that's not what he wanted. He did not want a traditional funeral. We did discuss that. All he said was, I don't want nothing traditional. So I was sitting there like, he's an artist. So what can I possibly do to celebrate an artist? And he has so much art, and I was sitting there like, I don't know what to show, but he was born in October. Yeah. I also was born in October. So I said, you know what, how about 10 artistic themes of the Kuroji Patrick? So we went back in time. So if you haven't had an opportunity to walk through the art, we have his rapping days where he also did some illustration. And he did Beyond These Soulful Eyes when he was working at the Perry School. Beautiful black and white photography. I'm biased. I loved his photography the best. Although people liked his illustration. We have some of his original poetry here. I was so determined for people to see his handwriting because I loved his handwriting. So we have some of his poetry here for y'all to read. He also had his Unbound photography. And what made it special is because this guy pulled this off in like maybe 2 months' time. It was something ridiculous. And he advertised the date and didn't even have a gallery to show the art. I thought he had lost his mind, but somehow he pulled it off. I remember the models would actually come to the apartment and I would feed them and they would go out and to slide over. But he was so proud of that photography project that he did. Later on, we actually wrote 2 books together. And it's so funny because it's true. Kuroji was like, I was singing the song to my daughter, and Kuroji was like, no, we gotta make it into a book. I'm like, nah, I'm not even doing that. We gotta make it into a book. So one day, he just grabbed his phone and recorded me singing. And then finally, I was like, fine, go ahead, I'm gonna make it into a book. So we worked on it together, and I cannot believe how it turned out. For like about 11 years, we sold This Milk Tastes Good, a breastfeeding nursery rhyme. I'm like, oh my goodness, next thing you know, people were paying us to travel all over the country to talk about breastfeeding. I'm like, oh my goodness. It was, when I tell you my marriage was fun, I had so much freaking fun with my husband. So I have some sketches that no one has ever seen. They were just sitting in a box. And I think everybody knows Patches. So once he started, his mobility was kind of like weighing down and his vision started to go down, but he knew that he could still put his hand up in that puppet and make him talk. I swear, he is 6'4", and these kids thought he was invisible. All they saw was Patches. He was sitting there and it's like he just disappeared. The children absolutely, positively adored Patches. And one of his hobbies was stop motion animation. So we also have like the Mumbles over there. And my kids also started to sculpt and do stop motion as well. And then he has his Her Ring series. And the one that, of course, I'm biased, he also redid Her Rings in our wedding. So he took one of our wedding photos and did it in that style. So that's what I have in my bedroom. And then the 10th one is family. And every single person here is family. Some of you are like, I never met Kuroji. Doesn't matter. You are still family. You are still family. Now, before I go, I'm going to read something that I actually wrote to my husband a while ago. Hopefully, it doesn't be crazy stuff. So, we were friends for a really long time, right? For a really long time. I'm like, definitely not that guy. Like, he was fun to be around, but I'm like, I don't know. But then one day, I'm like, man, I'm really stupid. This guy keeps saying, I'm never going to get married. But if I do, I would marry Shania. And he was saying that all the time. And I just thought he was full of crap. I'm like, oh, he's saying it to everybody. And I would go out on dates, and I would always ask a guy the same question. And no one could answer the question. I'm like, what can you do or give me that I can't do or give myself? And everybody was focused on material stuff. I can buy you this, I can take you here, blah, blah, blah. So even though I was already pregnant, we were already getting married, something said, you should ask. You should ask him the question. I'm like, no, man, we're getting married. But I did. And I said, what can you do or give me that I can't do for myself? And he looked me in my face and said, all I have to give is me. He was the only person who answered that fucking question. And that's how I knew that I had made the right decision. And he did so much for me. So one day, and I love it because we never waited for like Valentine's Day or your birthday or whatever. And one day I was thinking about him, like, wow, I really love my husband. And these are 5 things I love about you. 1, you are the best listener ever. You could be in the middle of something super important and you never, not once hesitated to stop what you were doing and give me your full undivided attention. and who always showed genuine interest in what I was saying, no matter how weird, boring, repetitive I may be. I'm guessing it's like some sort of extra superpower. Number 2, guidance. Honestly, the type of advice you give for free, folks are paying for. And I most admire how quickly your brain works to figure out the issue. There I am thinking about something for 9 days, and before I can finish my sentence, you're like, I see the problem. Your advice has spoiled me because I get so sad wondering how I will figure out the right thing to do without your brain. Number 3, humor. I was that kid from Captain Underpants who never got the jokes. I was never impressed by humor or surprises. But let me tell you, my husband was so freaking good with surprises. The only human that could surprise me and it doesn't like catch me off guard. And I'm just like, nah, because someone tried to surprise me today. And I was like, Shania doesn't like surprises. But Kuroji was a master at it. So without effort, you make me laugh every day. Laughing feels good, even though I still don't get all the jokes. I get most of them, and that's more than before. So thank you for teaching me humor. Clearly, I have yet to warm up to living spontaneously, but I must say I am always in awe of how you just get up and do stuff. No plan, no goal, no nothing, but the instant desire to do something. You are living proof that plans are overrated and sucks up precious time that we can be off doing something adventurous. And thank God we are married because I get to tag along. And number 5, you taught me the value of memories. I grew up where the adults only bothered to capture the good times. There were no everyday moments recorded. I used to think that you were weird for taking random photos and videos of the kids for no special reason. Over time, I learned that every moment is a special moment. It doesn't have to be a birthday, a holiday, a family reunion. You see beauty in things that I used to overlook or dismiss. And now, I get to see the world as you do, full of special moments and memories. You said that all you had to give me was yourself. Evidently, you miscalculated the value of you. You are the only man who offered me priceless things, things that money can't buy, things that factories can't make, things that people undervalue and lose sight of. And I get to share all those things, like humor and memories and conversations with my best friend. And I can't thank you enough for all that you have given me. And he has given me all of you. So thank you so much. Then I'm going to give a shout out to my awesome Park family. They're all over here. That's Ann, Omri, Brett, Mark. We have Dan, Eve. Anita's not here, but Anita's part of the Park family. Lori and her family is up in Ohio. Let me tell you, these people got me through everything. They are so amazing. When Kuroji had to do radiation, I don't drive, Kuroji couldn't drive. They came up with this amazing car schedule to get him to the hospital for his radiation. It was like the coolest thing ever. And they love my kids. They have looked out for my kids in ways that I can't even put into words. You know I love you guys. Y'all are amazing. You are the best. Thank you. And then, okay, this is a power couple right over here. So yes, so we have Rashida, and we have Rashada, and we have T. Let me tell you, I had all of this art, and I don't know what to do with this art. I just have art. She took the time to come and look at every single thing I had. She told me how to mount it. She told me where we can place it, all the right things. And then she took the time to scan. These photos over here, beyond these so eyes, they were actually really small. I see you from Loom Vibes. I know you out. And she took the time to scan every single photograph for this event. She also supplied the easels, the wall grids, everything. She came here early, yeah, we about to set up, bam. And then her lovely husband, he volunteered to DJ, because I was going to just have a lame playlist. I was, and I didn't really listen to music, so it would have sucked so badly. But he was like, no, I got you, yeah. And then at the last second, I'm like, yo, I need a mic, because there's going to be a lot of people. He's like, I got you, extra bam. So thank you.
know what? I met Baba Kuroji in like 2005, 2006, when I was in 5th grade going to children's studio school over there on Langston and V Street, Langston Hughes and V Street. And I remember, like, I think he was telling us a story about one of his students, and they were drawing something, and they went to turn the pencil around and erase it, and he snatched whatever they were drawing from them and balled it up and threw it away. And he was like, there's no such thing as mistakes. And I'll never forget that. And I gotta say, you know, I saw that the Crochet Kingpin, shout out to Wayne, had posted and shared about Baba Kuroji's passing, and that there was a GoFundMe. And then when I went to the GoFundMe, I saw that there was a celebration that was yet to happen. And so I was grateful that I could show up to pay my respects, but then I was also deeply saddened when I recognized that Baba Kuroji was on this planet, walking, talking, doing his thing, at the same time I was. And after all these years, after 5th grade, I hadn't been intentional about reaching out to him. You know, so it was the least I could do to show up. And I gotta say, like, that room was so full of love and support and appreciation. And it was so refreshing. So just, you know, thank you to Baba Kuroji's family. And, you know, we're gonna keep his name and his legacy going strong.